Happy Saturday, everyone. I hope you're staying safe and I hope you're having a good day. Speaking of safety, I want to talk about dog aggression in the home, your own personal dog. Up to this point, for the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about reactive dogs in relationship with unfamiliar people, unfamiliar dogs, guests into your home. Now I want to talk about your dog, your own particular dog. And here's why. Over 5 million, that's just what's reported every year in America, 5 million dog bites are reported. Far many more happen. Over 30,000 cases of reconstructive surgery. Over 50 to 60 fatalities per year. And half of those occur from the family dog. And that's the key thing to focus on. Not your neighbor's dog, not the dog you encountered on the walk, but your own dog. And the number one reason for those attacks, not how they ended up necessarily, I've seen in my days of many a competitive aggression type scenarios finally resolve themselves in a self-defense type aggression. But competitive aggression, the number one reason for aggression on the planet Earth. We've talked about the last couple of weeks, the evolutionary rule of mine. It is something you must always be aware of. Always take into consideration that at some point, if you own enough dogs in your lifetime, you will encounter one of your own personal dogs that will take possession of some object, some food-like object, and decide, I want it more than you. And if you try to take it from it, you could end up seriously injured by your dog, depending upon its size. So I've got a little bit of advice for you whenever you think you may be entering into a competitive situation with your dog. Meaning, maybe you got that crescent moon look that I showed yesterday on the videos with the wolves. Maybe you've got ears back, hackles up, snarling, showing their teeth, standing taunt. And it doesn't matter if their tail is tucked or not, and I'm going to show that in a few videos here in a second. So that being said, if you believe you could be entering into a competitive situation with your dog, not in a playful way, I'm talking about in a serious way, here's some advice I really want you to heed. Number one, never, ever assume your dog will let you take something from it. That is a horrible mistake. Thousands of people every single year assume that. Why? Most of them, when I interviewed them, it was because of anthropomorphism. I love my dog loves me, my dog would never bite me. And the look of horror and absolute disbelief on their faces when they tell me the story is unbelievable. It just really is. And you feel sorry for them. So that being said, any dog will bite any human if they have in their possession something worth fighting for. They will do that. It may be a tiny little bite, it may be a major bite, but they will do it. No dog knows that you're going to feed it for the rest of its life. No dog can count on you forever. You may think so, but it doesn't know that. Remember way back, probably 70 plus videos ago, when I talked about biologically prepared learning. Remember, animals learn what they need to survive before they learn anything else. And they already, through neuroplasticity, already have imprinted biologically prepared learning. And it comes from the wolf in the videos I'm going to show you. And those of you who continue to believe that the dog is so domesticated that there's nothing from the wolf anymore, you need to understand this. Nothing evolves all of a sudden without antecedents. All new behavioral traits tap in to pre-existing processes and structures. That's a scientific fact. So that's where it came from. Where else did it come from? So please heed this. Never assume your dog will let you take something from it. Know it will let you take something from that. Know that through your training. Know that through prior experiences in which you know you've taught the command out, drop it, leave it, and the animal responds reliably to that command. Now you don't have to assume anything. The object's on the floor. The animal walks away from the food. Number 2, walk away from a fight. So you say out, drop it, leave it, and your animal says no. No. Gives you that look. You know what I'm talking about from yesterday's video. Walk away. Walk away. Okay? And there's 2 considerations underneath that. Do you need to take something from your dog? Or do you just simply want to? Again, I owned a veterinary hospital for many years, and I can tell you what they can ingest and pass. Some things they can, some things they can't. But there's many things that we try to take from dogs that if you just let them have it, A, they wouldn't eat it. They just chew on it for a little bit, then they lose interest in it and walk away from it. Or B, they will ingest it and it won't cause them harm. Now, some things will. Some things are very dangerous. So that being said, that takes me to the next consideration. What's more important, your safety or your dog's? Now, I want you to think about that before you throw yourself on the grenade. I have interviewed parents, wives, husbands, who lost a loved one because that loved one placed their dog's safety in front of their own. So yeah, they're gone. But the living keep on living. And they keep on living with that decision that you make. You know, I love my family, and I definitely love my dogs. But I can't get another family member. I can get another dog. That's a very difficult decision. But before you throw yourself on a grenade, I want you to really think about the impact that your decision will have on those should you become killed by your dog, should you be mauled by your dog, all the surgeries, all the emotional trauma that everyone will suffer from that point on. So please consider that. What's more important? Your safety or your dog's? Number 3, this goes out to all the fellas out there, especially the fellas. We're guys. We are. That's just the end of the day. We kind of think a little different than the rest of the group. You guys never assume you will win the fight. Oh, that is indeed a bad mistake. I have many friends and colleagues who are doctors, and some have spent their entire career working in emergency rooms, and they will just shake their head. No, never assume you will win the fight. Never have the attitude. I tell you what, you're not going to growl at me in my house. If I want to take that from you, I'm going to. There's no dishonor in walking away from that fight and going, all right, you got me on that one. Obviously, I need to go work on my out. Leave it. Drop it. I need to add in a healthy dose of prevention. Make sure I don't leave my stuff laying around, because you obviously find my sock very, very valuable. Something you're willing to fight me over. So go clean up. Clean up around your house. Prevent this from happening. Always be in a position to reinforce this command. Until they know it like an instinct, you have your dog on the long line. When you're home, the dog's dragging a line around. You can supervise it. You can keep it safe. But now that dog has that food, you can pull the dog away from it. The dog comes with the object, then at that point there, either A, you got to have the ability to make the dog let go of it, or you need to drop that line and start all over again. But guys, this is what I do. When I wrote the book, The Hammer, Why Dogs Attack Us and How to Prevent It, I took knowledge that I cleaved from decades of interviews with one victim after another, and there was a very consistent thread. Yeah, there are exceptions to everything, but these are just rules of advice that I live by personally, and I need you to live by it as well. So now let me turn your attention over here to a video. Again, you guys saw a video of a wolf yesterday with that crescent moon. I want to show you a couple things here. You know, especially on that rule over there, never assume your dog will let you take something from it. When I talked about employing the hawk strategy or the dove strategy, I talked about the variables that could affect which strategy you use. And one of those was a lesser animal who does not have the fighting experience of another animal, does not have the resource holding potential of this opponent, but it values the object or the food more than its opponent. That will trump the other two every day of the week. Fight a starving man over a loaf of bread, and if you've been eating well, you're going to lose. So pay attention here. This is a wolf. Notice its tail is tucked. It's a very fearful wolf. It's an older wolf. It's a low-ranking wolf. And this is an adolescent. Right at about 17, 18 months in this picture here. It approaches a wolf that is eating. Finds this resource incredibly valuable because it can save my life. And it's very fearful about eating it because it worries that it's going to be run off by an animal that can run it off. So it's trying to eat as fast as it possibly can. How many of you own dogs that just wolf their food down? Where do you think we came up with the term wolf the food down? Yeah, I got to get all I can get, and I got to get it now while these other wolves are eating what they can eat. Because as soon as they're finished eating their stuff, they may come and try and take my stuff. It's kind of like sitting around the dinner table. 3 to 4 of the people they finish eating, now they come over here and start picking at your plate. So many animals, when they feed in a group like this, several of them will be very fearful. They're worried they're not going to get enough food. So now watch what happens. The younger wolf approaches to take a little bite and is immediately repelled by, even though it's an older wolf, a lesser wolf. This wolf on the left, the young adolescent, is a very powerful wolf already. Much higher resource holding potential. Doesn't have much fighting experience other than that with his siblings. But look how tight that tail is tucked. Look right there. Look at the ears flat down, airplane ears, hackles up. Very fearful, but I am willing to fight you if you come over here. And this wolf is not the least bit concerned, but it did back off. So maybe it assumed that that wolf, being in this fearful posture, would allow me to have the food, but you assumed incorrectly. So now allow me to show you another video. In this one, you see how young it starts. Older wolf saying, back off, little cub. But the cub says, not yet. Not yet. I'm going to hold this for as long as I can. And this is what happens when you have an ownership zone, but someone starts to reach onto your plate. Even from a very young age. These cubs in this picture here, let me back this up. About right there. That cub is 7 months old. 7 months old, and I'm already pushing adults off of my plate, my ownership zone, the evolutionary rule of mind, competitive aggression, the law of limited resources. It is the deepest and most powerful instinct that we have, because nothing else matters if this one isn't satisfied. There will be no reproduction. There will be no advancement of territories. There will be nothing unless you get this thing done. So it is there, guys. It is there. Pay attention. That thing could be a ball. It could be a spot on the sofa. It could be a shoe. It could be the thing that you least expect. You think, wow, really? You ate your food, but you bit me over a tennis shoe that I wouldn't even wear. It happens. It's not up to you to decide the value of the food, the value of the object. It is up to the individual. What you need to do is understand that this can happen. It can happen from an animal that you love dearly, because it does happen to the tune of over 5 million times per year just in this country. And those are the ones that are just reported. And so many people don't report anything because they're worried their dog will be taken away from them. So they don't report anything. They're worried about the legal consequences, the ramifications of their dog biting them. They're also ashamed of it. They're embarrassed by it. And they're walking around with their heads in some dark cloud. Why? Why did my dog attack me? I love my dog. It's not a human. And no matter how much you wish it to be so, it simply isn't. So embrace them for what they are. Respect them for what they are. And therefore, if your dog ever has anything in its mouth, I don't care what it is. Don't you go walking into a fight, especially if it shows you I'm going to fight. Sometimes they don't want it anymore. Here, you can have it. I don't care. I've chewed on that long enough. But other times, back off. Learn what those signs are and heed those signs. So you get a new dog, right off the bat, prevent. Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm just not going to leave anything out of any value around here. Good luck holding my sofa in your mouth. I'm just not going to leave anything out. And I'm also, just in case I do leave something out and you do find something valuable, I am going to work on a command called out. That's what I personally use, but you can use drop it, leave. I don't care if you say scuba nog. But there needs to be a command that when you hear that command, you immediately, like an instinct, like a biological reflex, gone. Just like that, no thought given. And then once the dog releases it, make sure you pull the dog away from that object, because now the reach down is to enter back into that dangerous competition again. Pull them away from that object. Restrain them away from that object. Then go retrieve it and put it up. And if America did exactly what I'm saying here, you're still going to have some dog bites. It just happens. Sometimes you get caught totally unawares. Then you realize the dog had something, and also you reach down and you're bitten. Those are going to happen. But at least all the other ones, we'd be walking away from it. We'd all be better. Less dogs to be euthanized because of this, because a lot of times, as soon as you bite me, that's it. You're gone. That's it. I have no grace. I'll tolerate a lot of things. You can jump on me. You can pull me down the street. You can bark all night long. But the second you bite my child, the second you bite me, you're gone. And the dog was only doing what instinct told it to do. So again, that's what this whole video series is for a year. It's about lowering our blood pressure, lowering the blood pressure of your animals, finding the ability to keep your dog, to truly have the forever home. And not just words, but really, really live it. All these people say, I adopted a dog and it's forever home. Yeah, right, till the dog does that to you. So come on, people. Wake up. It's a dog. Came from that. Anyone that said they didn't, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. You can cause my client, cause my friend to be dead wrong. So get on board with this. Just enough of that for today. I'm just really passionate about it because I've lived it, been around it. So obey the rules of competitive aggression. Don't wage into a fight that you don't need to wage into. We got another day to train. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to wrap up our reactive dog series. Of course, I'll be coming back to it from time to time. I always have to because it happens a lot. But tomorrow I'm going to wrap it up with what's called heart rate variation and how that can affect your dog and predispose your dog to be aggressive. So tune in for it. And if you found this information, any of the stuff I showed you today, you found that valuable, please share it, especially the safety stuff here. And if you have any questions, you know where to reach out to. Bryan with the Y at tamingthewild.com, or drop it on the feed. I promise I'll get to it. Been a little slow the last couple of days. I've been really busy with a lot of other things, but I promise I will get to it. Till then, be safe.